Day 3 of class. I'd like to begin by apologizing for the way I came in that day, yesterday. I understand that me coming in late was disrespectful to Mr. Fleming, Miss Britton, my fellow scholars, and Miss Kramer, and I'm sorry for that. Speaking of Miss Kramer, I'm really glad that she came into class that day. She's a very nice person. I love the fact that she came in, took time out of her busy schedule to come speak with us. Her, Miss Nico Cabral, and Miss Holland, because all three of them, they're the ones who are donating to the organization to keep it up and running. And us getting to see them in person and see them as normal people just like us, made it feel as if we were working towards not only the legacy of the HTCDP, but also to make sure that these people that they have made the right investments. So after Ms. Kramer left, we had our elections, and this is where Day 3 class, the theme of excellence, came in. I know Sophia and Soleil, they had an astonishing campaign. They had buttons and everything, the candy. They were really trying their hardest to get people to vote for them. So that's what I think really made them win, because they were very prepared with everything. They had everything set up and everything. As far as my campaign went, I was running for class senator, and I was actually pretty surprised that I was the only sophomore who was running, because the day that elections were announced, the day we said that we were going to have class elections, all the sophomores wanted to run. That day, Umi, Daryl, and we were talking because we were the ones who were running for class senator, and we were saying, oh, it'd be so much easier if you two were just to drop out because we all can't run. And I was pretty surprised that the two of them didn't run. So when Ms. Brayton asked me to deliver my speech, my original speech that was to convince people to vote for me had to be thrown out of the window, and I had to make one like a sort of acceptance speech, sort of like, yeah, like an acceptance speech. Even then, I think that in order for that speech to have been excellent, in order for my own original speech to have been excellent, it should have had substance. And I think that's where I'm lacking. That's what I need to do. In order for me to be excellent, I need to have substance. When I took my first AP class last year, I had a very easy time understanding the what of my free response questions. However, I was struggling in understanding the why. So when I had to explain the why of a scenario or why of a phenomenon, it was more difficult for me. And I think that might be the same thing that's happening here. However, just like last year, I'm expecting that because Mr. Fleming and Ms. Brain and my fellow peers are always checking and pointing out flaws and everything or not everything, but in the things that we do as a team, when we're going to progress, we're only going to get stronger. Like Mr. Fleming says, we compete to strengthen. And speaking of that, in this class, when we're doing our group activity with the question, I feel like I played a more active role this time, because not only was I more alert, because we had just had elections, but I was more inclined to participate. When I was working with my group, our original question was like, would God do this, or would God approve of that? I think that's where I came in. I said that's a yes or no question, because pretty much it was. If somebody were to answer that question, it would not lead them to asking the resolved question or to getting to the resolved question, and it would just be a yes or no question with like a limited number of responses, essentially, if somebody was not inclined to delve into their answer. On the class discussion about the morality and morals of justice, ethically, according to the principle of utility, and deontologically, that's a new word I learned in that class. I also feel like that's where things started clicking easier for me, because it all made sense now. Mr. Fleming, he broke down the process of how to get to their answer, which, like they said, it was a lot less satisfying than I expected it to be. The process of everything going, oh, that's how it works, or the aha moments. That's where the fun came in. That was the actual fun part of the process. And I know I'm not the only one who felt like that. I know Kennedy, Kennedy Barkley, she was on top of it. She was giving her A game, and everybody else, well, everybody was clicking. And I know with me personally, I felt my gears turning. I felt everything going. Where I was jotting down notes in my notebook. This notebook right here, I have a whole bunch of notes. I have a quote for each class. This class's quote was, "Brevity is the soul of wit." Unlike this video, it's not very brief at all. But this class, I felt like everything was clicking and flowing so much smoother, and I'm loving it, because in the original, like my first class, I was struggling a bit, and now it's getting easier, and I'm excited to see how I'm going to grow and evolve over the next couple months. So That was class 3, and thank you for your time. See you guys later.